I made another spliced coil up in a jiffy and continued filming. Me now start with some directional confusion caused by drill lexia. Left or right does not compute laughing out loud. Brain cells of me flesh life form assistant kick back into play. Me and he now proceed. Keep in mind that we prefer to torch for longer time and this is an exercise in speed. Fire creates chromium oxides on the surface of the wire. Thus I normally torch thrice. A metal drill bit is a poor choice of material to use to play with the coil at this point. I do so anyhow. A wood dowel would be softer or tape could be placed on the drill bit. Metal scratches a coil's chromium oxide layer, but I do not have time for perfection in this obstacle course. Out of all of this chaos comes the root tips of modding. Modding is a mindset of an action. Products modding is not. As I train, I more strongly remember that once fired, the oxide likes the smallest amount of disturbances to the oxide shell layer as possible. Brittle like an egg it is, and in the future I try to promise myself now to treat it kinder. Even in a sprint. I am pinching and feeling the density of the wickage a little better this time. Along with the rolling of the cut USP cotton strip. And the coil could use more play. But I temporarily proceed. For I had a eureka I wanted to get to that is a step further along in the process that needed solving. Use the wick slots as windows to seating the crimps. Toothpicks and pins aid stubborn subjects to one's commands. 32. Gauge wire jammed up the center hole of the ceramic wood shattered it when forced onto the air shaft slip connection. This reel is one of discovery. I discover that frustration builds and it is hard to think clear whilst attempting to film. And this is good for honing skills. I also discover that the rear end of these pliers suck ass and do not clamp. The wire needs to be flat. As I film the flattening processes, I can now make flat coils, if you grasp a foresight of further implications of me little crimpy epiphany. This method of slip connection is so sweet. One can hear it click. I deserve a reward vape off of me current favorite ceramic Vivi Nova setup. I then assembled the unit very fast like so. The final ohm reading were wacky and the positive pin needed more sanding. I decide to try again from the beginning. Modding implies prodding. By its very nature. Word up. If one does not succeed, try again. This is me last attempt for the night. I burn the wire out of the gate, because nothing is a given and there is no only way. I also do not give a crap at this point and just want to keep flowing. I have wasted enough wire. It happens on this shot. Or I go nodding out for the night and leave it to modding more another day. On this last attempt I get a very sloppy coil that is from the depths of a spoiled Hellmann's mayonnaise jar. It is good though, because I film the foreplay techniques I sometimes use to coax coils to cooperate when stubborn. Squeezing a coil often aids ease of work by retensioning it. Like a tired bull in the ring, I let out a snort. The animal part of me mind is awakened more than me smarts part. The day has been long and people unkind. This time I spend a proper amount of time inspecting the cotton. Rolling is not good enough. Pinching like a Doberman I go. This way one can feel and work it thinner, if needed. This piece is too big, I shall get another. Rolling the wick upside down lets me make sure no cotton snags up on the silver crimps. I can squeeze and pull before entering the coil. Utilizing me fingers as tools helps keep the feed side crimp clear of the wick being fed. Do not be afraid to manipulate the coil. If done with proper use intent, it will likely not become too disturbed. Keep in mind, coils are your friend, just do not roughhouse them rudely, and they can often be coaxed like a snake charmer does upon a coiled snake in a basket.